Hello and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of GetOiling, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, really glad you're here today.
We also have Julie here from our team. Hey, Julie.
Hello.
So as you're coming in, let us know where in the world you are coming in from. Let us know that you got back home from convention safely. I know that was quite an ordeal for a lot of us getting back, especially if you were sticking around for some of the cool things that were happening after convention. So we hope that you are home safe and well-oiled, relaxing, and recovering from what was a very intense and I think pretty incredible experience. I hope you guys got a lot out of that, and I certainly enjoyed meeting a lot of you in person, along with Julie here at our table at Aroma Sharing. So it was a really great little experience there. So yeah, head into the chat, let us know where you're coming in from, and of course, again, nice to see you guys in person. We saw you there. All right, so today we are going to be talking about how to get the most out of your GetOiling system. This training is for you if you use GetOiling. It's also for you if you're considering using GetOiling, or maybe you're wondering how you might get started with us. This really is for everyone. I think we're going to talk about some very important things that everyone needs to hear. If you have ever maybe struggled with self-talk, or maybe that's something you would like to improve upon consciously, we are going to be focusing on a little bit of that here today as well with this little perspective exercise. I think you guys are going to find it fun. You're going to have a new edition of Ashley's analogies here today. Everybody loves those, right? All right, so yeah, we've got a lot to get into. We have some slides prepared for you. So Julie, Greg, and I are going to pop out a video, get into this content, and of course we will come back out and join you on video at the close of the call. So again, welcome. Always so thrilled to have you here. Of course, thrilled to be back and with you guys here on the live call. All right, so here we go. We got our slides prepared. Let me know you guys can see. Today we are talking about how to get the most out of GetOiling. So first things first, we're going to talk about that, of course, how to get the most out of GetOiling. We're going to talk about the best approach to get started. And of course, if you maybe already use GetOiling and you're one of the many people who came to Julie and I at the table and said, you know, I have you, but I just don't think I'm making the most out of using you, we are here to talk to you today. So we're going to talk about the best approach to getting started, whether you're brand new or you think you might want to reframe the way you're approaching it. And then we'll talk about what it looks like to grow with us. Okay. And then also, really importantly, our convention specials have recently been extended to take account for the fact that a lot of folks didn't make it home and certainly had a very busy time, didn't get to make important business decisions, such as maybe switching your systems over to us or considering getting started. This is a great opportunity to take advantage of that. We'll talk about that on the call as well. And then we do have live help and Q&A as always. This is a call that is designed for us to work together. This isn't just a sitting down and listening to me talk for an hour. This is an opportunity to learn a little bit and then, very importantly, interact, have your questions answered, and in the case of one person today, even work one-on-one. So if you have questions, feel free, go ahead and get those into the Q&A. We've got two of the most qualified people on the planet to answer those questions that are standing by right here on the call, the creator of the platform and the absolute whiz kid, Julie. So put those questions into the Q&A. And if you would like to join us in the future on a call like this one, maybe you're watching this as a replay, you can go to getoiling.com/weekly-work-session to get on the list for these calls. If you'd like to work together live on a call like this one, head over to getoiling.com/website-review, and you can sign up for a dedicated spot on one of these Thursday sessions. No, we do not need to necessarily talk about a website on this review. This is also an opportunity to work together live, get you started, get feedback on your projects, and so much more. Now, if you would like to just maybe hand off the things that you want done to our team, we can do that too. GetOiling.com/concierge is where you can go to learn about our fabulously talented team, excuse me, and get a quote for your project. All right, now it's time for our fun analogies. All right, when you think about riding a bike, what comes to mind for you? So think about like you wake up and you say, I want to go for a bike ride. What kind of bike are you hopping on? Right? What kind of bike are you using when you are going to go ride a bike? Right? Oh, balance. Okay, we're going to get philosophical here. Yes, absolutely. You do have to balance. This is correct. But specifically, we're talking about like a bicycle, right? So in a very literal sense, what kind of bike would you use? Would you hop on a beach cruiser? Would you, do you have a road bike? Do you race? Mountain bike? What does that look like for you? Tricycle? When you think about yourself at this stage in your life, riding a bicycle, what comes to mind for you? Is it maybe, a fun little beach cruiser like this, something kind of fun, right? Maybe a fun little bike ride. Maybe you use something very practical because you are, maybe you live in a city like I do, and you might hop on a bike to go run errands, for instance. Maybe you want to hop on a bike and go do something challenging. So here we've got some mountain bikes. You want to go see something cool, do something challenging. But maybe, again, depending on your experience, where you are in life, maybe you want an e-bike, right? Maybe you need a little pedal assist for going up those hills. Or, maybe you are in a place, and good for you if this is the case, where you want something that pushes your limits, right? You want to get on a champion bicycle and go fast and far. So what does that look like for you? You're getting on a bike. Go ahead and head into the chat. What does that look like for you when you think about yourself as being on a bicycle? Like what are the purposes? What's the type of bike that would fit your needs? Oh goodness, yes, Allison, that sounds amazing. Boardwalk rides in the early morning at the Jersey Shore with beautiful ocean views. Sign me up. I will go today. Well, maybe tonight. It's too hot today. Let's see, on-road, off-road bike. These days, simpler the better. Awesome. So listen, yes, the 3-wheel. So you may be someone who needs some training wheels. Maybe you would just rather go back to the tricycle days where you don't have to worry too much about keeping yourself up on 2 wheels, right? So whether it is training wheels or Tour de France or anywhere in between, you can do all of the things with GetOiling. So this is where our analogy comes in, you guys. You are you still in this case. GetOiling is whatever option of bicycle you are ready for right now. Maybe you are on a tricycle right now. Maybe you need training wheels right now, and you have goals of being able to push yourself, and maybe even race, right? Maybe you want to run some kind of championship race. You can do all of those things with us, but you don't have to do all of those things with us. All of these things are fine, right? So with GetOiling, you can support yourself as a brand new brand partner and take care of the basic, most important stuff that you need to be doing as a brand new brand partner. But if you have or want to build a 7 or 8 figure brand where you are selling your expertise, you are monetizing what you know, maybe you're selling products and other things alongside your Young Living business, which you keep humming with automations and all of that in the background, you can do that with GetOiling too. So the features that we have on our platform are here to serve you, whether your business needs a tricycle right now, or you're ready to hop on a road bike, right? Or mountain bike, or whatever that looks like for you in terms of difficulty and skill. The features are here for you when you're ready to adopt them, when your business needs them. And the fact is you don't need to use all or even most of them to make the most of GetOiling for the business that you have right now. And I think this is the really important perspective that we need to remember. How many of us, maybe you're a parent, you've had to impress upon your child that that comparing yourself or characteristics of yourself to another person is not a healthy activity. This is familiar, right? This is obvious for us as adults. I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves of this. as business owners and as brand partners. The business that you have has specific needs. And just because you see your neighbor doing something different or they have something different doesn't mean that that's something that you need to even bother with right now, right? So the most important way to make the most of GetOiling is to understand what your business needs right now and focus on that first. Because look, there's nothing wrong with exactly where you are. And a lot of us, in some ways, we've still got some training wheels on a couple models of the bikes that we're working with, right? And that's okay. It's completely okay. There's nothing wrong with exactly where you are. So you want to ask yourself, where is it that you want to go? Do you want to just take your bike to the beach? Do you want to have things be simple for you, right? Is your goal to earn, maybe $1,000 or a couple $1,000s a month with Young Living, right? Get up to a nice solid platinum, right? Diamond, gold, somewhere in there. Or, are you shooting for the top like Anna here? Are you trying to run the full race? Or do you have an idea of how far you want to go? What do you want the experience to look like getting there? How would you like to get there? Right? Some of us would like to run the full race, but to think about the tortoise and the hare story, maybe you want to take more of the tortoise path, right? Maybe you would rather take a nice beach cruiser to the top as opposed to getting on a carbon fiber frame Olympic bicycle and trying to go really fast. Right? You get to choose what that journey looks like. And it's unique to you. It's unique to your goals and what your unique business needs right now. So you get to choose where you're going and how you get there. Again, in any case, GetOiling is the full bicycle shop here. Okay. So the best approach to getting started is to first master your contact manager. Period, end of story. It doesn't matter what plan level you are at in GetOiling. It does not matter what your rank is in Young Living. It doesn't matter the size of your business. The first thing you need to do is get to know the most important tool for your business, which is the contact manager. You have a relationship business, and your contact manager is the absolute hub of that relationship business. This is what we need to be using every day, often multiple times a day. This is where we manage the things that we manage to keep our business going. And what do we manage to keep our business going? Relationships, conversations. What did I say to this person and when, and what am I supposed to do next? So much opportunity is left hanging because we choose, instead of using a tool like this, to just shove all that information in our head and believe that we're going to remember to do it when we're supposed to later. Right? How many of us have dropped the ball, and then once we've dropped the ball, we are either ashamed or nervous, and maybe we're just not sure about how to pick it back up in terms of speaking to someone again. Maybe you've invited someone to take a look at Young Living, right? And maybe you didn't follow up when you thought you might, and now you feel awkward in the future. What do I say now? We've all experienced this, right? You can make that a thing of the past. And that is one of the most important things that you can do for your business, because the opportunities to grow Young Living are literally everywhere, all around you, all the time. You have a phone in your pocket connected to billions of people around the world. When you leave your house, you get to connect with people right out in the world. But what you can't do is rely on future you to do what needs to be done, because life's going to happen in between. You've got to start using this contact manager. All right. So the other important thing about this is, if you are someone who is aiming for the top, you've got to get duplicable. You've got to get to a point where you're not the only person driving sales in your organization. That means that the work you do at its core needs to be duplicable work, something that someone else can see is easy and then go copy. And what are those things that are easy and worth copying? It's the same stuff that Gary was teaching 30 years ago, right? It's having conversations with people. It's caring about those people enough to follow up and to connect them with things that solve their problems, right? That is difficult to manage with more than one person. And we've got to create an entire network of people that we're managing this with. The way that we make this easy, the way that we make this effective, and most importantly, the way that we make this something that we can show someone how to do after us is to use a tool like the Contact Manager and GetOiling. So if you didn't know, the GetOiling Contact Manager allows you to take your virtual office contact file and upload that into your GetOiling system, organize the people, communicate strategically with different legs of your business. We have a tree viewing option. Maybe you're a leader and you're just getting started with us, and maybe you've got a leg of your team that doesn't need to be contacted. You've got a way to keep all of that organized, right? You can upload your VO file and make those one-on-one connections with customers. Send them texts through GetOiling, send them email through GetOiling. Really simple, really easy, and most importantly, track your conversations, right? Whether those are customers or leads, you're adding notes from the last time you spoke with them and giving yourself to-dos following after that, right? So this makes it easy to stay on top of your follow-up. And listen, if all of us stayed on top of our follow-up 100% of the time, and we are actually reaching out and connecting with people as often as we're supposed to, our checks would triple every 90 days. The fact is that most of us don't keep up with the work that needs to be done because we're going about the work in an unsustainable way. And that is not keeping track of what we're doing, overcomplicating potentially what we're doing, or not focusing on the things that actually drive growth, right? Now, get to know that Contact Manager, start using it, and log into GetOiling and keep track of things on a daily basis. Right? So you can set up, schedule even if you want to, those monthly care calls with your customers. If you are not in touch with your personals, at least on a monthly basis, we are dropping the ball, right? And you don't want to just reach out and say, oh, there's a sale. Oh, hey, your purchase isn't big enough, right? Because that feels icky. We want to actually be aware of what their goals are. And again, we want to do that for all of our personals. We want to do that for as many people as possible. And it's unsustainable to do that without keeping track. But if you are popping in for 15 minutes once a month, checking in, seeing how they're doing, asking what their goals are, keeping track of those things, you can go make a quick note for yourself before you reach out to them again and say, hey, here's a thing that might help you, right? You can stay on top of activities that grow your business more effectively with more people at once if you're doing this, right? So have those care calls and do this with all of your personals at least, and definitely with anybody that doesn't have an active brand partner who's serving them. And then outside of your VO file, you want to start 5 new conversations a day with people who aren't in Young Living. And you want to add notes to those contacts. Listen, this is, I'm seeing you guys in the chat here. This is a hill to climb. This is a mental hill that we have to get over. I think a lot of us are not accustomed to note-taking for these types of activities because we typically engage in conversations with people casually, right? When you start choosing to approach your business like a business, not casually, but on purpose, you're basically putting on a different hat, right? Your conversations are serving a different purpose. And then you're going to go and follow up with the behaviors that are going to make those conversations count, right? So 5 new lead conversations a day. You can do this if you're on social media. Everybody here has access to social media. I know a lot of us don't love it. You could choose to show up and be somebody who is contributing to positive discourse and being a light for others, right? And that's going to attract people of that same ilk to you, and that's what you want, right? So add those notes, have those conversations, add those notes, and then bam, fam, always, always bam, fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. When you are meeting with someone, maybe you're on a Zoom call with them, maybe you're in person with them, Do not leave that conversation until you know when you're meeting again. And you can do this for yourself as well. If you're maybe communicating with a lead, you need to make sure that you're clear when you're done with that phase of the conversation you're having with that person. You need to be clear on when you're going to reach out to them again if they don't reach out first. And then you can start looking at features and GetOiling, like our follow-up plans, to streamline your to-dos with different types of contacts. Now, if you aren't familiar with this and you're just getting started with a contact manager, don't worry, there's training on this when you're ready for it. But essentially what this allows you to do is systematize what your conversation, communication type reminders look like. So for instance, if you've got customers, you want to be reminded on a monthly basis, certain day of the month, every month to follow up with them. We actually have a built-in follow-up plan you can apply to that contact, and you'll be reminded to reach out to that person once a month, every month. You may have something more custom that you would like to set up, maybe with your leads. Maybe you want to be reminded to look them up on LinkedIn and Facebook, friend them there, like some of their content, comment on some of their content, etc., depending on what your strategy is. So be thinking about this as well. And again, we're starting with the basics. We are just talking to people and adding notes and reminding ourselves to do stuff after we talk to them, right? You can level that up a little bit with something like follow-up plans if you are ready to streamline that, or you want to get those reminders without having to create one for yourself every time you need it. And then finally, make sure that you are getting your daily notifications for the to-dos that you give yourself, right? So if you give yourself a to-do in your system, GetOiling is actually going to send you a digest of everything that you need to do every day in the morning. You're going to get that notification. So focus first on getting the most out of your contact manager, all right? And then after that, you can start looking at making the most of your built-in themes. Now, these built-in themes, depending on the market that you're in, we are globally compliant around the world, right? And we have different themes that are compliant for different markets. So the first thing I want you to do is make sure, if you haven't done so already, complete the My Story and Photo section in your GetOiling account. This is going to take the built-in pages that we have and make them look like you paid somebody thousands of dollars to build it, your website for you. And it's already done. It's just going to insert your picture. It's going to insert a little blurb about yourself, or a long one if you choose. You can also go into the Customize My Site page and add your social links. This is going to customize the footer of your website. And you can choose a built-in theme that you love, right? So for instance, in the US, we've got 6 or 7 different themes, and they all pertain to, different interests or different product lines, right? Like we have a babies one that kind of focuses on seedlings. We've got a pets one that focuses on our pet products, right? So you can choose a theme that you love and then start using that page to share Young Living, right? Use this to share Young Living because it is compliant. It is something that builds curiosity, and it is a tool that you can use to leverage to help communicate some of the values that Young Living shares. It's always going to be more effective for you to point to someone who's giving information as opposed to you being the source of information. That's why these built-in themes are so valuable. You don't need to explain the Young Living sourcing process. There is literally a video from Young Living on that page that is a built-in website that you have with GetOiling that explains that, right? There's just little things like that that you don't have to be the one to explain. You can let the experts do it for you. That is more duplicable and more effective. So everything that I've just talked about are things that you can do with seed and starter plans in GetOiling. Seed and starter plans, simple stuff. And real quick, let me actually just pop over here and show you where you can find these things that I've just discussed, okay? So first things first, in the Success Academy, you're gonna see that there is an account setup progress bar. There's definitely some things to consider checking in on in here. There's common projects. This is a great place to go and start learning from about things, but here's where I was referring to. Number one, we've got our My Story and Photo. You pop in your photo here, put in your name here, share your story here, save it, and that's now going to show up in multiple places on your site that you choose. In this customize my site here, you choose your homepage from your built-in themes. And of course, if you don't have custom pages on your website, you'll see that there are themes there for you to choose from. And then you come down here, edit my social media sites, and then just pop all that good stuff in there. If you want to make sure you're getting those notifications, go over here to settings under contacts, go to general settings. And then right here, you need to make sure this box is checked. Send me a daily email of activity and to-dos. That's going to give you an activity report of people on your site, or people receiving emails, etc. from you. And it's also going to give you to-dos. Now, we also have extensive trainings on using the contact manager for a bunch of different purposes. Highly recommend that you check out the Success Academy here. Head over here to training and replays and type in contact manager. When you search here, you're going to find that there are entire playlists and tons of additional resources. So here's a playlist here. It's got 24 videos on it. Lots of great stuff here for you to dig into. And of course, if you're looking for specific help on a topic that you have in mind and you don't feel like you're finding the answer, you could always reach out to us and we can help point you in the right direction or show you one-on-one. All right, so you can do all of these things that I've shared with you with our plans that start at $9 a month. All right, you do not need to have a million bells and whistles to do really well with GetOiling. But, like I said, depends on the bicycle that you want, right? If you're cool with the tricycle, that'll take you as far as the tricycle can go. But when you're ready to hop on the next level of a bike, we've got that for you when you're ready, all the way up to running 6 and 7 and 8-figure businesses using this platform. Okay. So as your business needs it, you can add more things, right? Add more systems, build out more features as you need them, right? So you can use GetOiling, for instance. This is a great early next step. Everyone should be having some kind of a live event, whether that's in person or online. You can use GetOiling to host those events. You've got our RSVP system, and you can automate your follow-up using campaigns and even remind people for the event. We've got trainings on this. Use GetOiling to streamline those events. If you aren't doing this yet, this should be the next thing that you consider doing. If you are someone who wants to send education, newsletters, etc., to your customers, use our partner content for that. If you go to our content page on the GetOiling website, you can see the folks that are creating gorgeous content that is easy and, most importantly, fast for you to plug in and send to your people. Designing cute newsletters does not grow your OGV. Being in contact with people, having real relationships with them does, right? So in this case, you want to leverage what's available to you, make that nice and simple. If you don't have a budget for it or aren't ready to outsource the creation of content, we've also got great training on how to DIY newsletters in a very fast and replicable way so that it doesn't take a bunch of time for you. Another one, and this is something you have access to at all levels of GetOiling, you can start blogging and creating content, start talking about the stuff that matters to the people that you want to be attracting. Share your tips, your recipes, inspiration, and more. When you're ready, this is going to be at basic and higher plans. You can create a custom member area to take your customers off of Facebook groups and serve them in a place that is more private, that is protected, and that allows you to keep things organized and less noisy. You can start generating leads online, creating a funnel to do so and to automate your follow-up. And you can, of course, sky's the limit here, sell services, products, programs, and more from your website, right? As you are ready for it, as your business needs it. So if you are wanting some of these things, but you maybe are still, you feel like you're still on a little bit of a tricycle, that's fine. If you want to move up to another level more quickly, hire a team, right? If you want to go farther, go together. Our team can help take you there. So that's getoiling.com/concierge. There's so many things that they can help you do. If you want to have a member area built, they can do that. You want to build a beautiful website, you want to create a simple website. If you want to, develop systems and workflows so that you are able to work smarter and faster, or if you want to migrate over from other systems and platforms. These are all things that our team can help you do, and you'll be able to get it done in a fraction of the time while you're focusing on the things that move the needle in your business, i.e. those conversations, those relationships, right? So otherwise, if you aren't going to be investing in help, focus on adding one thing at a time, right? So if you've got your communication down, you're reaching out to 5 people a day, you're keeping those notes, you're following up and not dropping the ball, add your events. You've got your events in, those are humming, you still got the contact stuff going, you're ready to, maybe promote your AFT. Cool. Create a website page for that, or hire someone on our team to do it for you. Just focus on doing one thing at a time, because as was mentioned earlier, when we got a little philosophical at the beginning with what it means to ride a bicycle, it takes balance, right? If we start trying to, to do 7 different things while we're riding a bicycle, we're going to fall over, right? So we do have to keep pedaling and doing the things that keep us upright and moving. So get a strong pace there with the things that keep your business moving, right? Pedaling that bike, and then you can start adding things on. We're not trying to go full circus if we can't do a tightrope yet. So you can, at any point, with anything that you would like to add into your workflows, your system, if it's something that you want, there's a solid chance that over the last, many years we've been doing this, we've already created some kind of a step-by-step training and have some kind of template for you. Again, if you can't find it, just reach out to us and we will point you in the right direction. And speaking of, right, if you want access to things that will help you to grow more effectively, to take advantage of GetOiling more fully, there's still time to take advantage of our once a year specials. And you can learn more about those at getoiling.com. That also includes a drawing for a bottle of rose oil that you can enter to win. We will be making this drawing will be live next week. We'll be announcing the winner on next week's live work session. So listen, you guys, this is something we love to do every year. There's a number of different ways that you can enter to win. If you're an existing GetOiling customer, if you are referring folks to GetOiling, you can enter to win that way. You can get additional entries. You can also text Rose to our phone number. I'll show you that here in just a moment. Let me show you real quick if you don't know how to refer. Up here under share my site, there is a referral link. That's this guy right here. That's where you want to go. All right. So that is where you can share that with your friends. If they get started for $1, you will actually split their first month. So they'll get their first month is $1. Their second month, rather, that's what you split. They get it for half off, and you get credit for that other half, which is pretty cool. All right. Now you also can start getting your systems in place. This is a great time to start focusing on your systems, including educating your customers, moving them off of Facebook. We do have a complete course that teaches this, right? So I want to encourage you again, if you haven't done so already, take advantage of getting started with us for $1, and you can get access to this course. We also have email marketing mastery. Speaking of systems, this is one place that we all need to make sure that we have some baseline education, especially if you already have a group of folks that you're serving and you want to be able to maybe reach them more effectively with email. Really important that you follow a couple of key guidelines, and maybe even more important that you follow some workflows that keep your newsletter and education process from being something that takes up the time that you ought to be using, building those relationships and being in touch with those leads. All right. Speaking of leads, getting the word out, getting more done, you can get two-way texting with GetOiling. That's actually something that we're giving away. You can get it for free for 3 months or even up to an entire year. GetOiling is a place where you can not only email your people, but you can also text them. And we are available in many markets around the world. This is not just a US or a US and Canada thing. And when you do send emails and texts through GetOiling, you're using this thing called marketing credits. You can get up to 1,000 extra of these per month for the life of your account when you get started during this special. You also can get unlimited vaults and classes. Now, if you are somebody who is maybe at that level where you are, wanting to create courses, you want to serve your customers, your brand partners, et cetera, maybe you're even considering moving over to GetOiling away from, platforms like Kajabi. Did you know that if you have GetOiling, you don't need Kajabi? For those of you who even know what Kajabi is, right? So you actually can have unlimited vaults and classes to reach more, teach more, and grow. And you can have that for up to a year with this special. Now, a big part of putting yourself out there and growing, graduating up that level of bicycles, as it were, is for you to start working on your brand, right? For you to stand out, for you to understand how to communicate your values. Because while people choose to continue to buy from Young Living, the reason why they made that choice in the first place is because of you. And if you aren't in touch with you and your value and how you connect with people, add value to their lives, build trust and influence with people, it's about time that we got that figured out, right? This is what makes the biggest difference between someone who can easily get a new customer and someone who just feels like they're spinning their wheels, right? We also have a comprehensive training here. And this is something that I believe should really be required for anyone who wants to grow a serious brand partner business and use the internet to do so. This is a complete roadmap for you, whether you are just getting started or you are maybe at diamond and struggling with work-life balance. I know there's a lot of you guys out there. Once you start getting up to around platinum, it can be a little bit challenging. If you didn't have the right systems in place when you began growing your business, it can start to feel like a job and you are no longer reaching out to people and growing your business the way that you did in such a way that got you to where you were. So this is a complete system and it shows you how to focus on the 4 systems that run your business. And this is something that we've had multiple folks give feedback and say that we should be charging for this. I actually kind of agree. This is worth thousands of dollars, this training itself. And we also have, and this is for those of you who are existing customers. And if you don't have a website yet, or you don't love the one that you have, for $450, that's it, $450, you get a complete website over the course of 3 live calls with one of our incredibly talented designers. You get your branding worked out, you get your copy worked out, and you get to use our 5 core website templates to build out a complete and functional site that even generates leads and follows up with them for you to help you get more folks into the pipeline for Young Living. Definitely worth checking out. And I'll show you where to find the link to that here in just a moment. All right, and then we've got our marketing mastery workshop, you guys, that's that 4-part business system. We've got our website domain. You can actually have your own custom domain. This is included when you get started at certain plan levels. And we are also offering, if you're getting started at pro or higher for annual, you get a one-on-one brand consult. So if you want to learn about maybe how to migrate your systems over, maybe you've got a large team and you want to make sure that you are going about communicating with them in a way that's effective, where you aren't, maybe jeopardizing your send reputation with your email, et cetera. We've got you covered. We can hold your hand and walk you through it. So make sure that you head over here. These specials expire at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. All right, so these do end. This is the final opportunity to take advantage of these. Now, let me really quick before I hop into this live help and Q&A, I do see we have a couple of questions. I'm going to get to those in just a second. Here we go. I'm going to show you where, if you go to getoiling.com, I want you to just scroll down the page here. And on any of these, you can see learn more, right? Where we say learn more, we'll actually take you to the place on the page. So this is a page that outlines everything. All right, we just extended this through the end of this weekend coming up here. All of the details are here. If you want brand launch essentials, That's for those of you, again, who want to have that website build, just click the button that's right up here. And you can get all the details. It'll take you over to a page where you are, rather to a form where you're going to fill out some information. You'll go to the next page and we'll take payment. And then you'll be able to schedule your first call with a member of our team. All right, so let's get into quick questions here. And then I also have, let me find you here real quick. Terry Robinson. Okay, you're here. I see you. I'm going to bring you out here in just a moment. We're going to work together. Okay, so Tina, I've got you covered there with the notifications. Showed that just a bit ago. Okay, I think, Allison, it looks like you might have gotten handled there. Tina says, I don't have my phone with me. Can the training section be accessed from the app? Yes, absolutely. So you're just going to log into GetOiling. It's going to look slightly different because you're in a mobile screen as opposed to a desktop one. But you still just go to the Success Academy and you're going to find everything you have access to in the Success Academy. Let me see. So Allison, if you're, there may be a redirect issue here, but I would make sure that you have the, let me see, that's something that we might need to investigate after we go through this, this session here with Terry. How do we create new blog post authors, add team members? That's a great question, Krishanda, and I'm going to leave that one for Greg because I don't know the answer to that. Let's see, Tina says, if I get a second GetOiling website with a different back office email, am I able to access both accounts from the app easily? Yes, you can. Yes. You're going to be logging in to the app using the email addresses, and with the Attractwell app, you can use multiple email addresses, and everything that you have access to with those associated email addresses will show up there. So for instance, I have access to the Attractwell back office, the GetOiling back office, and then for a lot of you guys, I'm in some of your vaults, right? So if I'm logged in from my Ashley account on both platforms, I've got a boatload of stuff there, and it's all still in the same app. It's actually, in my view, preferable to using the desktop just because it's just all right there, which is great. Okay, let me go and grab you, bring you out to chat here, Terry. How can we help today?
Hi,
Hey.
thank you so much for having me on. I was really kind of shocked that I just did this yesterday and it was open. So I'm really happy because this is something I've been working on for a long time. And I feel like, so just to preface, I am an exhorter, I'm a teacher, and I love words, and I love people, and I'm so compassionate. And so it's really hard for me to get out of my own head and get out of that mode and whittle things down so that it's more impactful and not overwhelming people with all the words and all the love and all the things. So I was hoping you could take a look at my website and help me do that. I'm ready to go to the next level, and yeah, give me all your stuff.
Awesome, excited. So let me just bring that up here real quick. And yeah, we'll take a look together. Okay, awesome. So first things first, this top section here is the most important part of your entire website, and that, like, by magnitudes. And what's happening here right now is that we are repeating what's already up here as our logo. So what I would do in this section is actually dedicate this to speaking directly to the person that you did this for. Right? So this is, I help you, person, get, do, be, have this thing that you really want. Right? And then to have maybe some kind of call to action here would also be beneficial if you are working on generating leads, etc. This is what we call above the fold. It's it's a term that comes from back in the day when we used to buy newspapers off of the deli counter or whatever. Above the fold is that, it's that thing that you see that makes somebody go, ooh, I'll grab today's paper, right? So we need to make sure that what we have here is going to grab their attention long enough for them to become your lead. Does that make sense?
Yes. Headlines.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. But what we're doing here, the thing that works is to give context immediately, right? So, hey, if you're this type of person, I help you get this thing that you want. And then maybe, whatever carrot you want to dangle as a lead magnet, here's a thing you can do. Or if your call to action at this point is book a call with me or buy something or whatever, then this is going to be that optimum real estate to put that there. All right. Lovely. I do like the spacing. It's very fresh and bright. Awesome. Okay, see, a message like this would be nice up here, but I would want to get, again, not necessarily reiterating what you are, but reiterating what you do for them, right? Announcing like why they should continue paying attention to what's here. Oh, this is beautiful. This looks really nice. I love how there's a video in the background here. It's very well spaced, and you're telling a story and really utilizing your formatting here beautifully. Like you've got a lot to say here, but the way that you formatted it will keep someone reading, which is great.
Okay, good.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Oh, this is good. Look, it's so pretty. Oh goodness, yeah, this belongs on the top. Yeah, this belongs on the top. And then you want to make sure that whatever you're putting here, we want to maybe talk a little bit more about the training, right? So, okay, so you matter, you're okay. So what you do is up here is you say, hey, call them out. Who are they? I'm here to help you thrive, right? As his child. And I've got a training to help you make sure that you wake up feeling this every single day. Click here to get it. And you're going to use that same, the same code that you've put into the button down here for the free training. I would here, I would maybe consider putting some kind of an image that is at least evocative of what the training is. Maybe you've got a logo for it or something, and then just kind of spell out a little bit about what it is, right? So is this video? Is it a PDF download? Are you going to show up in their inbox once a day for a week? Give a little bit more clarity in this field as to like what it is that they're going to get and what it'll do for them.
Okay. So where it says unlock your health, is that where you're talking? Go ahead and do a sentence or two.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Before they give me their email and info.
That's right. Yeah. So what this would look like if we go into your pages here is that's going to be in your settings and then in the lead settings. The message to show on the capture form. So unlock your health is what's here now. I would definitely change that up just a bit because I don't think that that's necessarily the title of what it is that you're offering here, because we're talking about a training. So we want them to get the training, right? Get the training, and then you're going to say what you want to say here. You could put an image in here. That's certainly what my preference would be, to put an image maybe on the left-hand side and have the text on the right, or vice versa, just to give them a little bit more like, here's what you're going to get. It's a little bit more enticing. It will help convert more reliably.
Awesome.
Love it. I love what you've done. Do you have a custom footer yet? Is that something that you're working on? That would be something that I would recommend.
Okay. And there's a training in the Success Academy for that.
Oh yeah, there's actually a very recent one that has a really cool template that could even reiterate your lead magnet, since you have custom pages in here. Let me see. Yeah, I just did this recently, and I believe this might have been released when we were gone for, let me see.
What makes it good?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, there's actually a resource bundle here. And it's even got, you know, all the designs and everything in it. Yeah. So, okay. Let me see what else put on the rest of the page here. Great.
So there aren't too
Okay.
many. It's
that?
not too wordy. It's not too wordy, like too much information coming.
So there's a good amount of information that's here. The issue with it is that we don't have a guiding context. We know that we're talking about something called authentic wellness, but it's not necessarily being communicated like this is what authentic wellness can do for you. And that's something that we really like. That's really the most important thing here is we need to drive that point home right here. And then that will make everything, like basically the whole rest of the page supports what you're saying. Your thesis for the page lives here, and everything else here is supporting information.
Okay, so it's okay to for right at the top, not introducing myself, but leave it down in the next section.
Yes, yeah, and that's what, you know, there's like, you know, here's you've got an about me page, and you even have a section down here where you're talking about yourself. But yeah, it feels counterintuitive, right? Because this is your website, it is with Terry, but with Terry is really about what people can do with Terry. It's about them. And if we can communicate that to them, then they'll stick around long enough to read about you.
Perfect.
And yeah, there are a lot of words here, but like I mentioned before, you've done a really beautiful job of kind of giving space and formatting them in a way that's not visually overwhelming. So, you know, it's fine to have a long web page that even has a lot of written content on it. You just got to make sure that it's not, you know, blocky and you know, feels laborious to the eye. So you've done a great job.
Does it feel like? Thank you. Okay, well, Tiffany, kudos to Tiffany.
Yes.
So does it pull you further down the page, or does it make it feel like, oh my gosh, more to read?
I think once we, you know, if we get that first piece addressed here, then yeah, I do think that it does, because, you know, the way that the copy is formatted and what you're talking about, you know, is sort of, yes, it does. If someone resonates with what you're saying here, then they're going to continue to follow. You might consider like, you know, so right here. No, this is great. No. All you want to make sure that you do here is just provide a little bit more context as to what's in it for them, because we can't imply it, we have to state it. And in a way that really matters to them. Otherwise, we're going to lose them in literal split second. And then and then make sure that you are putting this up there as well, because the whole point of this page is, aside from branding you and just showing that you're somebody who, you know, has more than just a social media account, is for you to collect leads that you can follow up with.
Yes, exactly. Okay, one other quick question on this. How do you feel about the definitions, the squares right there below authentic wellness? Is it something that you read? Does it capture your attention, or is that like?
So it's overkill? It's a touch extraneous. However, you can improve upon it by maybe putting a bold statement before it that says, I believe that ... right? Or if you believe that ... right? Like, so provide some kind of an opportunity here to make a stance. Typically a section like this is going to be devoted to, so let's just say, for instance, right here at the very top, we're saying, this is who I help and how. This next section where we might, have something like this is where we might expound a little bit upon what helping that person looks like, right? So, I help this type of person get Doopy have this thing. Here's my freebie, grab it now, right? Ideally, we want to capture them with that right here. They don't even necessarily have to go further. If they don't take advantage of it right there, then we kind of want to support what we just said here and say, well, I help this person, this type of person get Doopy have this thing. And I do that by this and this and this, right? And then we get into, maybe we talk a little bit about why they haven't been able to fix their problem, or, talking about what the problem is. And then you kind of get this down. This is beautiful and perfect right here where you are connecting with them. Like, hey, I'm grabbing your arm, I'm grabbing your hand, I'm talking with you right now. So yeah, no, you've got this done to that extent. What we're missing really is the cell of what you do for them and that context that follows, because it's not necessarily clear. We know that this is called authentic wellness, and we can see what these definitions are, but just leaving it exactly right here, which is how most people will literally leave it. It's not clear what authentic wellness will do for me, or if it's for me,
Gotcha.
right? So we just need to communicate that here.
Okay. Awesome. Is there time for me to ask one more question?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So I am going through the setting up the blog tutorial, and I got stuck with the brand, the blog page header, the brand graphic.
Okay.
Is there I'm not that tech savvy, and
That's okay.
Canva, I spent over an hour and a half on Canva trying to do that. Is there a simpler way? Could I just insert maybe the same picture that I use on my my story page? Or
so what I would do if you're getting stuck on the header, which I believe the template that you're working with looks like this. Let me see. I think this is it. Yeah, you've probably like an image like this.
yes.
Yeah,
I was trying.
This is completely unnecessary. You don't have to have this at all. It's just going to show up with whatever you've titled your blog with. The majority of people don't even put an image right here. So if it's kind of giving you a little bit of a roadblock, understand that you don't have to have a graphic at the top of your blog at all. This is really more for the folks who, just really want to be, extra. But the sidebar content that I talk about setting up, this would be where you would take your picture from the My Story and photo and then pop in, some information here. So that's going to be over here under your extra sidebar content, right?
Excellent. I haven't
here.
There.
So yeah, just completely ignore anything in this header. You could obviously write stuff here if you want to, if you like what it says, the way it looks, but you can avoid that completely and your blog will be just fine.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
And then for the blog title, the title of the blog series itself, I was feeling like I needed to be congruent with the rest of my branding with the title. Is that correct? So
this would be the authentic wellness blog, right? Something like that.
Okay. I didn't know if it was okay to go ahead and use the same thing, or for my website, it's growwithterry.com. That's as close as I could get to anything because it's the authentic wellness is nurturing space to grow in health. And so I ended up with Grow with Terry, but so I didn't know, is titling the blog grow with Terry?
Well,
Or
because-
just keep it
because
off?
Yeah, well, because you've got Authentic Wellness and not your name as the logo, then you're probably going to want to maybe brand the Authentic Wellness blog. But
Okay.
there's not a lot of harm in it either way. It's something that's very easily changed, and something that you'll have a lot of leeway to kind of play with in the early stages of developing this. But I think
Okay.
you made the right call with your domain name either way.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. You have been such a gem. I appreciate all of your help. Thank you to all the team. I'm really excited to get back in there and get this going, and thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out. You and Tiffany have done great work. and yeah, we're always excited to see progress like this. It's really beautiful.
I appreciate it.
So while we're here, you guys, forgive me if you are on a phone. If you are on a phone right now, go back and watch the replay of this later. I want to show you guys something really cool. If you have not already entered to win rose oil, then there is an opportunity here for you to enter. Let me grab this here real quick. If it will let me download this file so I could show you guys. Julie figured out something cool when we were sitting at the table at Aroma Sharing and realized that that we needed to update our rose oil giveaway information. So let me just show you this real quick, you guys. If you have your phone handy, scan this QR code and see what happens. It's really cool. So we'll do a training on this in the future if you guys want, but essentially what's going to happen when you scan this QR code is it's going to open up your your phone's texting, right? So it'll open messages, and then it's going to automatically input the keyword that you need to put in. So basically scan the code and hit send, and you'll be good to go. It's pretty neat. Hope you guys enjoy that little thing. All right. If you aren't able to do that right now, no problem. Definitely come back and check the replay. You still can enter to win. And you can do that. Obviously, you have to enter by 11:59 p.m. Central US time this Sunday. And that, of course, is when all of those specials expire. Yes, Julie rocks. This is correct. Sheila, there is a we'll have to do a training on it. And we put that in Canva. We created a graphic in Canva, and when you put the URL, or what I would typically put is like a web address in the code for creating the QR code, there is something else that you put there. And that can include your phone number as well as the text that you want to fill. You could do this with email as well. It can open up an email client and even give a subject line. So it's kind of like the mail to : and then the other stuff that you can do in URLs if you're familiar with that. It's okay if you're a tricycle rider and that's like way up here. You don't need to know it. It's fine. I love tricycles. They're pretty cool. They make pretty interesting motorized ones that go really fast too. Anyway, yeah, so we'll do that on a little training here in the future. Thank you guys for sticking around. We absolutely adore you and the fact that you spend all this time with us. Get into that contact manager, talk to 5 people today, and then talk to 5 people tomorrow, and then get that system in place where you are just adding those notes and reminding yourself to be back in touch and to follow up. All right. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back here same time next week where we will be announcing the winner of the rose oil drawing. Be sure that you've entered, share GetOiling with your friends. And if you haven't gotten started yet, get started for $1 today. Look forward to talking with you guys next week. Have a great week, everybody.